Enjoying secrets of a sugar daddy? How about a little something extra? Here's today's dose of extra sugar with Marcus.
Hey, this is Marcus, and welcome to this segment of Extra Sugar. Oh man, do I have some things to talk about, but first, I recorded an episode earlier this week, but it won't come out for a few weeks, where I announced some big news. And here is the big news. You get to hear it first, right here on the Extra Sugar. Or Patreon, if you're a member there. We've already disclosed it, but I have secured a second suite, private suite, for the Shakira concert. It is all-inclusive. It comes with a buffet. The food is fantastic. All you can drink also. It's going to be a fabulous time. The concert is sold out. The resale tickets are through the roof, so I know this is going to be a high-energy event, and you're going to get to congregate with the cast and crew of Secrets of a Sugar Daddy. So we want you to come to Sugarpalooza 5. It's November 6th through the 8th. Our applications are now open, so go to secretsofasugardaddy.com, press the party tab, and you will find all the information about the party and the application. So get that in. They are closing soon, and we're going to fill this thing up fast. So we want you to be a part of it. And if you're a sugar daddy and you want to sponsor it, I'm telling you, the girls are always asking that there's more men at the party. Our last one had a 3-to-1 ratio, meaning there was 3 girls for every guy. And a couple guys had to cancel at the last minute, so it was even a bigger ratio than that. Men, it is so fun. I'm not saying you're going to find the sugar baby of your life or that you're going to fall in love, but I'm telling you, these girls are fantastic. They're vetted. They go through an application process. We handpick them, and they're just a lot of fun to be around. Whether it turns into anything or not, you will have a great time. And women, this will be a party you will never forget. I promise you that. If you've heard any of our last episodes and the testimonies from people that have gone to previous parties, it's almost a life-changing event. So come party with us in November. The weather in Arizona is fantastic that time of year. Now, if you're a Patreon member, you've already heard about this, and you are part of the family already, and we want you to become a part of the family. It's free to become a member of the Patreon group. It's at patreon.com/Secrets of a Sugar Daddy podcast. We do have a few tiers there, which the basic tier, which is $10 a month, opens up the entire site. You get everything, including the community chat, which is really fun, exclusive announcements like this before anybody else. You get to hear all the extra sugars and episodes before anybody else, along with many other perks, and we have some tiers that include coaching and profile reviews. So go to patreon.com/Secrets of a Sugar Daddy podcast. Okay, on to today's extra sugar. I'm going to talk about getting stood up on a meet and greet or a date. I'm pretty seasoned at this. I've been doing it for over 8 years. There are a ton of fake profiles on Seeking now. I don't know what's going on. They seem like there's more than ever. If you read the descriptions of these things, it's horrible. They sound like they've been through a chat GPT program. They have no reference to anything local. The pictures have no reference to anything local. The girls are all supermodels, and they're reaching out to you with generic information or generic messages. It's absolutely idiotic, and I'm just getting bombarded with them now. So I can dismiss those pretty quick. And you look at their join date, and they're usually a day or two or less than a month old, because the fake profiles don't last a long time. They usually get reported or taken down pretty quickly. But anyway, there's tons and tons of fake profiles on Seeking now, but there are still a lot of real ones, real women, real men looking for a connection. So I had a couple experiences this week I wanted to share with you. It happens to the best of us. I mean, one of them there was nothing I could do about, and the second one I was already suspicious about. So we'll go through the first one. I met this girl. She's vetted. She's been on the site a while. She messaged me with her real phone number. And in my White Pages app, I talk about this. Many times it's very accurate, and her first and last name came up, her location, her birthday, an address, family names, etc. And I was able to research her on the internet, found her very, very quickly, found her Instagram, 100% real. And we had communicated quite a bit, and we decided that it was kind of a last minute thing. She messaged me like 6:30. We were going to meet at 9 o'clock at a bar for kind of a meet and greet and drinks, and then, see where the night took us. Well, me being prompt and dependable and very punctual, I show up at 9. Usually I show up 10 minutes early or so, but I was running a little bit late. So for me, showing up on time is actually late, but I got there right on time. Now, I don't mind a girl being 10 to 15 minutes late initially. Now, that's got to improve, but I get it. Fashionably late. That's usually what happens. Now, if they make a habit of it, we're definitely going to have a talk, because I respect other people's time. And if we're going to a concert or a festival or something like that, or a dinner that we have reservations at, we need to get there on time. So anyway, I'm sitting at the bar. I got an extra seat next to me, and she had been very communicative. I wasn't worried about her being a scammer or this being, some kind of a joke. And she said, "Hey, I've got to go to my girlfriend's house, and so I'll see you there at 9. Okay. So anyway, 9:15 comes. She's still not there. 9:20 comes. I message and go, "Hey, are you getting close?" She says, "Yeah, I'm 10 minutes away." I'm like, okay, this is a little bit of annoying. So now she's going to be here at 9:30. I mean, she should have said that in the first place, but I'm already here. I'll wait. So the bartender keeps coming over and says, "Hey, do you need a drink? Do you need anything?" And they have great appetizers there too. And I said, "No, she's almost here, and I'll just wait for her to get here." So 9:30 comes, 9:40 comes, no further message. And I'm like, you know what? This is getting to the unacceptable stage. I'm going to order a drink, and I'm going to order an appetizer. And they've got these great, if you've ever been to the Beverly in Old Town Scottsdale, they've got these fantastic appetizers. One of them is the filet mignon bites, and they're little pieces of filet mignon, and they have like a little horseradish sour cream dip or something that you dip them in, and they are to die for. They're absolutely the bomb. The other thing I recommend there for you locals is the deviled eggs. They've got, they call them Scottish eggs, I think, but they're fantastic. Anyway, so I order that, and I'm thinking, well, by the time the food comes out, hopefully she shows up. Well, I get my drink, the food comes out, and I thought, okay, if I finish this food before she gets here, I'm gone. I don't have patience for this, and I haven't heard anything from her. So I eat, I finish. It's almost an hour. I think it was like 9:50 or 9:55. I said, "Hey, I need my bill. I'm out of here." So I wrap up. I leave. I get in my car. I don't drive off very quickly because I'm thinking maybe she'll just walk in and she's, any minute now. But finally I pull out and go home. I actually get home, get to bed because I'm done. Like, there's no reason for me to even text this girl at this point. And she texts me at 10:20. "Oh my God, my girlfriends were fighting. I'm so sorry. This has ruined my night. I'm really annoyed right now. I'm only a couple blocks away. Do you want me to still come?" 10:20. That's almost an hour and a half of us, of me waiting. And I'm in bed. And then she calls me twice, and I didn't answer. I said, "No, I'm done." Like, if somebody can't respect my time and respect that I've made an effort to get there. And I was working. I wrapped up work. I had plenty to do. I could have stayed home, but I wrapped up work and went to meet her. So anyway, I didn't answer. The next day I went and worked out, and I thought, I'll give her a courtesy, kind of explain to her why this was unacceptable. And I said, and I explained everything I just explained to you guys. Look, I'm punctual and dependable, and I expect that from the person that I meet. And if we're going to get into an arrangement, then I'd appreciate that person reciprocating that same time of respect for my time. And she actually kind of got upset over it and defensive. So I'm like, yeah, this wasn't a good idea. And then she noticed that, I guess months ago, she was on Bumble and she put her Instagram on there. And anytime somebody puts their Instagram on there, and if they're attractive, I'll go follow it through the Secrets of a Sugar Daddy Instagram account. And she's like, yeah, I saw you creeping on my page and you actually asked to follow me. It was a private account. And I go, really? I don't remember doing that. I certainly didn't do it that night. And she said, yeah. And she sent me a screenshot. I go, oh, you must have been on Bumble. And she confirmed that. She goes, how did you find, but before I figured out that I found her on Bumble, she said, well, how did you find my site? I said, oh, you're pretty easy to find. You have a very unique name, and you gave me your real number, which I highly recommend you don't do that. You use a secondary number. And she goes, yeah, I noticed that your text came up green, and that's usually a red flag. And I'm like, well, yours should have come up green because you need to be careful. And I explained to her, I had my co-host, Amy, she had a guy literally find out where she lived, and she met him on Seeking. For some reason, the front door was open. She had roommates or unlocked. He walked right in the front door, walked right into her bedroom while she was sleeping. That is some scary shit. There is too much information on the internet for you to be using your real number. And I'm getting really sick and tired of these girls with these attitudes. And I'm finding it more and more. They do not like green text. They will only message you if they get a blue bubble on their text. I get it. That's annoying. I've been in a group chat with people who have Androids. I used to have an Android. Yes, I converted over to iPhone. There are some things that are good about the iPhone. There's some things that are better with Android that I do miss. But I drank the tea or the Kool-Aid. I transferred over. So I get it. It's a little bit annoying. Now, iPhones do share pictures and videos better, I think, than Androids, unless they've made some improvements. But some people are just so hardcore about it, yet they're opening themselves up to danger, and they're not being secure while dating, and that's just dumb. And the funny thing is, when I try to educate them on that, and I try to tell them about it, they get really defensive. Whatever. Until something bad happens, then I guess they won't take it seriously. So anyway, that was a big bust. I didn't really get ghosted. I didn't really stood up. She was just running so late that I got fed up.
It's a dose of extra sugar with Marcus. Brought to you by Secrets.
From the mind of a 2-foot-tall talking Spunks puppet comes this year's biggest challenge. It's time for Bob's Dare to Compare, the hottest game show on TV that asks, what happens when you compare Bob's to the competition? You get style. You get quality. You get beeps and boops and dings and whomps. And thousands of dollars in savings. Everyone's a winner when you dare to compare with Bob's Discount Furniture. Shop in store or at mybobs.com to play now.
Of a sugardaddy.com.
My second story is, and here's another reason why I don't erase my messages. Now, I know Alejandra, my main sugar baby, she doesn't like keeping messages on her phone. When she's done with somebody, she'll just erase all the information. Well, I like keeping them because what's funny is when somebody from my past messages me, I can pull it up and I can see our past conversation. So sure enough, this girl on Seeking, and I checked her account. It's been there since 2019. That's a good thing. That shows me that she's probably not a scammer, because scammer accounts don't last that long. So that's like 5 years old now. She messaged me back in 2021, and it was one of those spur of moment things where she's like, hey, how are you doing? And we talked, and she's like, I can meet tonight if you want. And I was like, oh, that's great, because I didn't have anything going on tonight. We had a great conversation. We agreed to a PPM, or talked about arrangement styles and this and that, and said, okay, we're going to meet at this little bar near my house. Well, she just didn't show up. She ghosted me, and then when I went back and looked at her profile, I was blocked. And I thought, this is really strange. Like, there was no red flags at all. She gave me her real number. It came up. I was able to look her up. I found her online. It was crazy. Now, she did tell me her name was Ashley with a L-E-Y. And then on the White Pages app, it came up Ashley, A-S-H-L-E-E. And then when I looked her up on social media, it also came up with A-S-H-L-E-E. So she gave me a little different spelling of her name, but no big deal. Maybe she just didn't want to spell it the way that she normally spells it, because it is a little bit different. So anyway, I was blocked, didn't think anything about it. here 3 years later, after I got a new account on Seeking, her profile obviously shows up again because now I've got a different account. And she messaged me, and when I gave her my number, and I didn't remember. I thought I had talked to this girl before, but it had been 3 years. And so when she messaged me, sure enough, all the old messages came up. Now, I didn't let her on that we had talked before because I'm like trying to figure out what's going on with this girl. I really wanted to meet her because she's very attractive. And the conversation again went really well. It seemed like she had no recollection that we had talked before. I didn't send her any pictures. She didn't ask for any pictures. And I don't have any facial pictures on my Seeking account, just some side profiles and some blurred photos. So anyway, the conversation again was going great. We set up a meeting to go to another bar in Tempe, which is nearby my house and near hers. We talked about condoms. We talked about safe sex. We talked about allowance. And again, it was funny because it came out to the same amount that we talked about 3 years ago. I show up and I started getting the feeling because I said, hey, I'm on my way. She didn't answer. I said, hey, I got us a seat. She didn't answer. And literally after like 7 minutes, I go, I can't believe this bitch did this to me again. I got ghosted twice from the same person. Now this one, I don't know what happened. I can't figure it out. I'm going to consult with some of my local sugar daddies to see if they've actually met or encountered this girl, because I do not get why somebody would go through all of that and then ghost you at the time of the meet and greet. I don't know. And now she did it twice, so I'm like, well, maybe it's just somebody screwing around. Maybe it's some guy in his basement. I don't know. But this one, again, she used her real number and her real information came up. So that was my week of meet and greets. I went 0 for 2, and I just wanted to let you guys know that if it happens to you, it happens to the best of us. I'm very seasoned. I know how to get through these things. I know how to talk to the girls. I know what to discuss to make them comfortable, but apparently I'm not bulletproof either, guys. So anyway, hope you enjoyed today's Extra Sugar, and hopefully that hasn't happened to you much, but if you've been in the sugar dating world or even just the regular dating world for very long, I can guarantee you it's happened. Anyway, I'd love to hear your story, so go to our website, secretsofasugardaddy.com, and share your story. And again, Shakira, we want to have you there with us in November. Sugar babies, go to the website, fill out the application under the party tab. Sugar daddies, get in touch with me, and I'll get you all the information on becoming a sponsor and the cost and all that good stuff. It's very affordable for what you get, and you'll have a fantastic time. Look for a new episode every Tuesday, and until then, talk to you soon. Bye.
We hope you enjoyed your Extra Sugar with Marcus. As always, visit our website, secretsofasugardaddy.com, to comment or tell us your story.